In this video help, what we're going to be doing is covering the subordinate screens or child records in this particular case based on the customer record as the primary record. Let's start out by looking at the customer UDF portal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over before we go there and show you that there's an entry in the UDF portal. Now this looks a little hard to see because on the application when I'm running the simulator, it does move the fonts or change them and make them a little fuzzy to see, but in the actual application it's going to be very clear what these are in all the fields. Let's go ahead and go now to the UDF portal, and you'll see that the UDF portal information matches what you just saw in that record. Now the ID is very important in that record number 2 is the record where this particular entry was made. You can have as many number 2 records as you want to based on that portal. For example, in this case it says customer allows, and we're talking about the store, allows dogs in the store. Now that's just something that you would put in there in case you wanted that information in there. You could have any number of titles and also the data for that particular title field. If you wanted to remove it, you could click delete if you didn't want that record in there anymore. And obviously you can do a find based on these. You can say enter find mode and look for every store where it says dogs in store are allowed, or customer allows dogs in store. Either one of those would work. A lot of times when you're doing a find, if you sweep the information or highlight it in the application where it pops up and allows you to copy or select all, then you can paste it back in after you start the find without having to key it in. Now obviously on a drop-down menu that's not going to be possible. If you have a drop-down field where it has data in it, you're not going to be able to paste items in that field because that is a standard set of selections and they're not editable unless I've actually underlined the field header where you have a separate field. For example, if I go over here to the business area, you'll see that these are underlined and they produce a different screen where you can add a different data field in this area. For example, if I came over here and said add a new record, it would allow me to go ahead and type that information in here, then go ahead and if I needed to edit the current one, I could edit it. Now, reason I'm bringing this up, if I have records where they are of a standard type where they're not supposed to be changed, like the ones that are in here now, do not edit these or change them because they're actually used to indicate a specific thing, and there is code that is tied to it that says that there are certain types of selections you make on, say for example, the invoice where it's going to affect the way things are calculated. So you do not want to change these. I'll give you an example. A custom order on the invoice is indicating that this customer is making a special order. Now how can that be? If this is not going to a standard customer, one that you're selling to all the time, where you're repeating and coming back to that same place and consigning or putting wholesale items in, you can create a custom order and a custom record for that particular customer, and that customer would have a custom order type of a situation. It could still be retail, but it's showing that this custom order is more or less a one-off type of a buy, where say maybe somebody was referred by a store to you as a business and wants a product that you have only modified slightly to fit their requirements other than the one that was shown where you had it consigned. Okay, let's go back now and look at the next item where we're looking at the list view. And as in this case, you'll see that it highlights the record as you click in the area, and you can see that you can go next by clicking the record. It'll move between the different items that are on the screen. In this case, let's do this one over here, and it'll move between them. I have all those buttons in here so it makes it simple for you to do things like next, prior, and last, and first, especially in a screen where you're wanting to move down through a large selection of records. And for example, a list view can be 1 to the number of records. If you have 1,000 records in here, you may want to do a find instead of trying to work your way down through the records, and then do a find based on either the primary client, the business name, or all retail or all wholesale, or the city, or a specific interchange like 928 telephone numbers or whatever. That's the kind of things you can do when you're in a record like this. So that's the list view. Let's go to the next one, which is a type list. Now, the customer type and the customer rate view, we've looked at these, and we're just going to go pop through them again. We've just shown you this one, and we worked on that. And then the wholesale rate is the one we showed you earlier, where you can set your rates in here. Now, in this particular screen, you can have anything you want in here. These are not connected to something that if you change them that it's going to be critical. You can put any rate number that you want in it. You can have 1%, 1.2%, or you can have a number of decimal places if you need to. In some cases, people that are selling penny items may want to have a detail where it says 0.102 or something like that for penny items. I have one guy that sells irrigation systems, and what he does is he puts penny level items in here so that the percentage wholesale discount is based on the individual item, and then each time he orders a number of them, a quantity, say like 500, he gets the penny discount on each item based on the entire total of the items that he bought. So that's kind of the way that works. Okay, let's go back. We've covered the customer business and then its subordinate screens or child screens. We're going to move now next to the order invoice and the order information and all these items in the next video. Thank you.